So hi guys, it's Lauren. I'm just quickly jumping in here because when I filmed the video, I didn't film an intro. I just jumped straight into the topic. So I'm just jumping in here to say, hi guys, it's Lauren. How you doing? Let's get on with the video. Enjoy. So then, titles. I have really struggled to name my current project. So I'm working on something that currently is called Project Ring because I started it in November during NaNoWriMo, so I just put in the box, my neighbour's outside. This always happens to me. Every time I try and film, it's like everyone comes outside, right? And I don't like it. It's just been Project Ring because that's been the status of it since NaNoWriMo. It's just been referred to as a project, and ring is just the one word that stands out in my work, in my novel. So yeah, it's been Project Ring, and I'm getting sick of calling it Project Ring because my other project is called Namiety, and I love that title. I think Namiety is such an interesting word. I love Namiety, and I've really never struggled with naming my novels in the past, especially from my Wattpad days. The title had to be the first thing that I really come up with, because to upload it on the website you had to put the title in, so you couldn't just be like project blah 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 because no one's gonna want to read that. So you had to come up with a title first, and some of my favourite titles that I've come up with myself and created, I think my top one would have to be Played by Riggs. I will insert the copy of it, the cover that someone made for me, because Played by Riggs is one of my most favourite stories that I've ever wrote before. Played by Riggs can be interpreted I think Played by Riggs can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. Is that interpreted? Why does that sound really strange? Yeah, so I think Played by Riggs can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. You know, what is Played by Riggs? Who is Riggs? Why is she playing? I've made a few, you know, bad decisions, don't get me wrong. Like in the fan fiction days, I had a story called McDonald's Girl. I had a story called Flight Attendant. I don't know why I can't name this one. 5 months I've been working on this story. I want to have a title for it, and I've tried. I sat down last night and I was just thinking, I was like, what can I name this? And I just don't know. So I thought I would look to some of my favourite books as inspiration, but they didn't really help me. So some of my favourite books, if you know me, you know Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. Now, I know this book was originally called First Impressions. I don't think First Impressions would have failed. First Impressions, knowing the story, does work because Darcy and Elizabeth's first impressions of each other are what makes the whole story, you know? So if I looked at this book for inspiration and say I had to pick 2 traits or opinion or attitudes such as Pride and Prejudice from my story, it would be something like Love and Cowardice by Lauren Clark. Naive and Coward. What? Demise and Cowardice. Hope and Cowardice. I don't know. That one isn't going to help me at all. Pride and Prejudice, I can't follow that same method of title in my story. So another one of my favourite books is The Girl Who Couldn't Read by John Harding. This one here. And The Girl Who Couldn't Read is an amazing title, let's be honest. The Girl Who Couldn't Read? What? Explain further. So if I had to use that method for my story, the girl who couldn't distance. The girl who couldn't distance. No. The girl who couldn't love. The girl who, maybe we don't have to use couldn't. Maybe didn't. The girl who didn't know how to fucking title a story, hey? Me. So yeah, I just don't know. I love the way that it's set out, you know, the girl who couldn't read. Who's the girl? Why can't she read? And tell me more. It would have to be something like really long, like the girl who couldn't get over demise. The girl who saw nothing but grief. The girl who demise attacked. I don't know. So on to the next one. So another one of my favourite books is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Faber. Sugar, the heroine of this book, is just insane. Her story is at times really hard to get through. There's a lot of emotional moments at this book, especially at the end. The end is just boggling. Honestly, I could talk about this book for a long time, but I'm not going to bore you with my review right now because that's not what you came here for. So the phrase itself is taken from Tennyson, and alone is mysterious, let alone with the context of the poem. Now sleeps the crimson petal, now the white. You know, there's also a lot of the connotations to do with white being good and red being sin, and you know, crimson could be taken for the fact that Sugar, the heroine of this book, is a prostitute, so therefore she is crimson, but she yearns for that good life of being white and clean and innocent. Well, she's not innocent in the slightest, but you know, she yearns for that sort of vibe. Victorian literature is all about that fallen woman and what that means, and how flowers and colours can all be associated with something like that. This title is probably one of my favourite titles just because it is so beautiful. You know, the crimson petal and the white just rolls off the tongue. It sounds yummy. If I did it a similar way to this and used a Tennyson poem, the eagle, maybe, close to the sun in lonely lands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls, and thunderbolt he falls. It's a very deep poem, so that line could potentially work, but maybe not in the day that we live in now. I just don't think that would sell. So the poem Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep by Mary Elizabeth Fry, there is a line in there that reads, I am 1,000 winds that blow, which is a very powerful line in regards to someone that you have lost. You know, I'm 1,000 winds that blow, like I am going to be constantly around you. My presence will not be cause for weep. I could call Project Ring 1,000 winds that blow. 1,000 winds that blow. That is potential. Could it be? I don't know. Does that sound shit to you? I really don't know. 1,000 Winds That Blow by Lauren Clark. Oh. Oh. I like that. I really like that. Hold on. We may have a contender, guys. We may have a possible title. 1,000 Winds That Blow by Lauren Clark. I don't know. Hold your horses. We might have something. The last book that I want to use as an example is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Laura Purcell is a new author that I've discovered in the past year or so. So yeah, I love the titles of Laura Purcell's books. I think they're absolutely incredible and they really foreshadow what is going to happen. Because in this book, The Silent Companions, there are literal silent fucking companions in this haunted house almost. They're like wooden figures that come alive, basically. Not come alive, but they move. It's fucking freaky. So a companion, that is such a pinpoint word to use. Why was it a companion and why didn't she go for, I know companion really fits, but a silent friend, a silent foe, a silent friend, a silent guest, a silent person, a silent intruder. A silent companion makes them sound friendly and someone that will keep you company, when in fact they are there to destroy you. Deliciously creepy title that is amazing. I love it. The Silent Companions is just there. It's snappy. It's different. If I followed the same route that Laura Purcell has taken then, the loud demise. Ooh. The screaming demise. No. The silent expiry. Sounds like they're going out of date. The deadly foe. The deadly witness. No. The begrudging visitor. I don't fucking know. I don't know this one. This one stumped me. I think the best one from this would be to research poems regarding death and loss and grief, and potentially working with something from there, because it surprised me. I didn't expect to find that. I still don't have, you know, a title, but I've spent the last fucking hour filming this trying to, you know, broaden my way of thinking with titles, because I always think it's got to be something taken from the book. It doesn't have to be something very narrow to do with this. It could be something, you know, very broad, a phrase that, you know, just really talks about the theme and the atmosphere even of the book. So obviously mine deals a lot with grief, so anything to do with that sort of feeling and emotion I think would work. On the document now, I think I have a list and all of them say demise, but I don't have to use demise because, you know, everyone knows what demise means. If I use something that's very broad and, you know, figurative, it will make the reader think a lot more. But you also want something catchy to, you know, captivate the reader. You want something that they're gonna see on the shelf and be like, oh, the crimson petal and the white, the silent companions, Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, I don't know, this was just a little fun experiment, something to keep me busy because I am so bored in this house right now. I'm hoping that you're all staying safe and you're all washing your hands and taking care of yourself. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's all we are hearing on the news and etc. It's just, you know, it's annoying. I don't ever want to hear the word corona after this virus has passed. I am sick of it. So I'm going to end this video here. Please let me know down below how you personally title your stories, how you come up with them. Do you just jot down and brainstorm every kind of word that comes to your mind, or do you take a step back and research and try and draw from different ways and aspects? I just don't know. Give me a hand. So I will see you guys in my next video. Take care of yourself and goodbye.